and a little bit behind schedule. The 135th FA Cup final is underway. New sponsor, relatively new stadium, building its own history.
We've been here many times, Martin. Have we heard a better atmosphere than we're hearing here today? I'm not sure we have.
No, I would agree with you. Louis van Gaal could be looking at his last game in charge of Manchester United at the end of his second season. He continues to polarise opinions, but he gets plenty of support from in the Manchester United boardroom. I would say, should he win the trophy today, or his players win the trophy for him, he would have a reasonable chance of being here for the Community Shield, which of course would be against the league champions Leicester City.
Just looking at the way Crystal Palace have set up, it looks as though Cabaye is going to play as the holding midfield player, and the other two players are playing slightly in front of him, Jedinak and McArthur, so maybe a surprise from this man here, Alan Pardew.
Rooney. Martial, Rojo almost too anxious to get there in support. Rooney very much the midfield player these days. Maybe embarking on a new chapter of his career, both for club and for country, in a deeper role.
And I think the role suits him really well. He gets more of the ball. He's a brilliant passer of the ball. That's his best attribute these days. Big crossfield passer. We'll see some of those today. Not frightened of getting back and doing the defensive side of the game.
Daley Blind, who's been one of Manchester United's better players, as has Chris Smalling in an underwhelming season, at least for many of their supporters. Not so much the results, which have been okay, but the lack of swagger that's expected. There is more competition around these days. Rooney. Let's skip away from Valencia, it does.
He's going to get forward as much as he can, and he's going to get on the ball and try and find him. There was a run here from Fellaini, who just runs offside. I thought that was going to be the pass, but he played it out to Valencia. He couldn't quite catch it up.
Wales' Wayne Hennessy is the Palace goalkeeper. He's played here before for his country. By Blind. It's noticeable that Smalling is trying to follow Connor Wickham for any ball that's hit long. Wickham scored a very good header to win the semi-final, and they'll be hoping at this same end of the ground to get some good delivery here from this corner.
And we know Crystal Palace are good at set plays, and we know that Manchester United haven't defended them particularly well this season. They have got Fellaini back in the side. He'll be in the middle of the goal trying to attack every ball that comes in. But Dan Delaney, particularly good in the air, so too Connor Wickham.
Jedinak also is waiting by the near post. Crystal Palace looking to strike early here, but David De Gea has such a safe pair of hands. Climax to an excellent first season for Anthony Martial in England. Mata, Fellaini. And Michael Carrick caught in possession. It's good energy by Cabaye, but then he loses out. So big game, of course, for 18-year-old Marcus Rashford. Normally we'd be spotting up such a youngster in the team, but he's really come in and stuck in the side, hasn't he? It's not as though it's a strange selection from Louis van Gaal.
The only strange selection was the day he made his debut against Arsenal, scored those 2 goals. He's been almost an ever-present ever since. Carrick just fouled by Cabaye here. It's going to be a rotating midfield for Crystal Palace.
Rooney's ball beckoning Rojo forward. He's got the better of Ward, and that's gone behind. That will be a Manchester United corner.
I've seen both fullbacks try and get forward. It's good movement. Just for a moment there, Ward got sucked infield. Rojo starts to go past him, but Zaha gets back and makes the challenge. He needed to.
Manchester United have been spectacularly late a couple of times to fixtures in London. But they're leaving nothing to chance here. Fellaini coming round the back because they actually stayed in a hotel in the Wembley complex last night, which is unusual for FA Cup final teams.
Well played, Jedinak at the far post up against around Fellaini. It was lifted to that back post. Jedinak went with Fellaini, jumped him on that occasion. That's going to be a good battle when balls come into the box.
Well, the beards get bigger and bigger at Crystal Palace. Joe Ledley, who's missed out through injury, also sporting that kind of facial hair. "12 years since Manchester United won the FA Cup. They beat a team from South London then in Millwall. And the final was being played down in Cardiff. Here's Rashford to try and use his pace against Delaney, who's struggling. And Mark Clattenburg I'm not sure he's in absolutely the best position to make the judgment, because he was looking through Delaney, really.
Good pace from Marcus Rashford. Delaney tries to cut across him here, grabs hold of his shirt as well. He just about gets the ball. It should be a goal kick. He doesn't give a penalty. Came off Rashford last.
Martial. Crystal Palace all backpedaling, really. It's going to go back where it started with another United corner.
It was a big moment in the game. Rashford beating Delaney for pace. Delaney got a slight touch on the ball, but he was grabbing the shirt of Rashford.
As I say, I don't think Mark Clattenburg's positional play is normally very good. Just quite can't obviously work out every time what is the perfect angle. Palace were a little lucky.
He certainly didn't ask the advice of his assistant. He gave the corner very quickly.
Well, Fellaini is the man they will want to pin down here. It's over him. Over Smalling as well. Rooney. Plenty of height on the cross. Taken down by Mata. In again, Hennessy comes and shows some authority there.
Hasn't been in top form, Hennessy, in recent weeks. Made one or two poor errors. Had a great start to the season.
Alan Pardew, as a player, was involved in that 1990 Cup final for Crystal Palace against Manchester United. And then as a manager, he was in charge of West Ham 10 years ago. And they lost to Liverpool on penalties. The oddity about it is they're the only two finals in all the years of FA Cups that finished 3-3. And there's the Alan Pardew connection in both, and he was a loser. Once through a replay in 1990 as a Palace player, and once on a penalty shootout against Liverpool.
He was only a minute or so away, wasn't he, from winning the FA Cup with West Ham, until Steven Gerrard scored that last-minute goal.
Rojo. And Rooney. In a way, the midfield position suits him because he just loves to get as many touches as possible.
Still trying to figure out why MacArthur is playing as the furthest forward midfield player, unless he's trying to stop Carrick getting on the ball and dictating the play. He's not a particularly adventurous midfield player. That's the position he's playing today.
Another lovely pass from Rooney. Mata, Rashford, Valencia, now Carrick. We expected a lot of the game to be like this, didn't we, Stuart, with Manchester United having possession, but Palace picking them off, but they're not going to... Well, they did in the nick of time when Suarez, the left back, came across to stop Rashford, embroidering his first FA Cup final with an early goal here.
You see Delaney was sucked into midfield, lovely little 1-2 by Rashford. Does that so well now. He first came into the side had pace, he had enthusiasm, but he's really built up his game in recent weeks. Suarez did well coming across.
The early tune being called here by Manchester United, and well, there's a lot of talk about Alan Pardew coming up with clever set pieces, but Manchester United have done that as well, and there was one into an unusual near post roll, not to flick it on with the head, but to have a crack at goal for Mata.
Very difficult to make contact when it's coming across your body that quickly.
Corner from Blind. Fellaini stooping in, but not conquering.
He's got half a yard on his man that time. Doesn't really get the connection. It's a good attempt from him. He's working really hard against Jedinak to get across the front of him. Jedinak's having to grab back at him. Just does enough right at the last minute, Jedinak, just to put Fellaini off. With a big chance for the Belgian.
Fellaini missed 3 games after being found guilty on a video charge. An incident with Leicester's Robert Huth, who was also banned as well. A swing of the elbow from Fellaini's point of view. Are they inviting pressure the way they're set up, Crystal Palace?
They are in some ways. Manchester United dominating possession, and it's been in good areas as well. They've created a couple of opportunities. Well, that's the way exactly Crystal Palace were going to play, but if you're not playing with punching in the team, there's not quite so much threat on the counter-attack. Yes, in the wide areas they've got pace, but MacArthur's not going to be a real threat, Kabai's not going to be a real threat, and I don't think Connor Wickham's a great athlete. So I think it's a strange decision that Alan Pardew has made by not playing Jason Punchin and playing Cabaye as the holding midfield player.
But what Alan Pardew will probably say, we've got to stay into this game and not get ourselves blown away early on. It's a little bit of a cautious approach. Punchin, as you would understand, very disappointed. But he knows it could be better for the team. The unpredictable Yannick Bolasie. David De Gea nearly sliding behind. Would have been a corner.
Well, that's exactly what Crystal Palace wanted. They won the ball back in a decent area. Bolasie running with the ball, looking for a crossfield pass. They had a 2v1 on the far post. De Gea just keeping it in from Blint's header.
Sides met recently at Old Trafford. Both made changes because it was just before the semi-finals here at Wembley. Manchester United won 2-0, an own goal by Damien Delaney. Put Palace on the back foot straight away. Matteo Darmian scored his only goal for the club. He's one of the substitutes today, the Italian fullback. And United won it pretty comfortably. The game at Selhurst Park back in late October finished goalless. Martial. Fellaini to work with here. Mata. To feel Mata prefers working in these sort of areas, Stuart. His passing craftsmanship might hold the key. Carrick. Rooney is a long way out to have a shot, but there was a deflection on it. And Hennessy's got to dive on that again as Mata was trying to follow in.
He's had a lot of the ball, Wayne Rooney. Getting out to him that time. Took the deflection. But with Mata coming infield off that right-hand side, it does mean that Valencia will keep breaking forward.
Here's Zaha. He's just pushed. Marcus Rojo.
Zaha is never going to be first to that. That's where the foul's committed. Rojo getting there first, was always going to turn away with the ball.
Quite emotional before the kick-off when Palace arrived, Wilfried Zaha. And, I understand in the Palace dressing room there were a lot of messages pinned up on the wall from friends and family. Pardew doing everything to try and get the psychology right for his team. It's the tactics, really. Probably determine more. Clipped in by Blin. The header down by Fellaini towards Rashford, who gives it back to him again. Martial's has taken up a more central position and just checks out to get it from Rooney. Rooney again. For Rojo, it was a lovely judgment in the pass, both in spotting it and being able to execute it.
Well, it's okay, MacArthur trying to stop Carrick getting on the ball, but they've got to stop Wayne Rooney getting on the ball. He's got too much time to pick his pass out here. See, Ward is tucked in field. It means that Zaha's got to go back with Rojo. He should have done better in the end, the fullback. But it's all Manchester United at the moment. Crystal Palace really struggling to get hold of the ball.
But as it was in the semi-final against Everton, and then in the second half, of course, the game took a distinctly blue tinge, and if there was going to be a last-minute winner, which there was, you would have bet on it coming from Everton, but it came against them and obviously destroyed their cup hopes, and Manchester United moved here to Wembley today.
The game changed because of the change of tactics from Everton, not from Manchester United. It's maybe what Crystal Palace have got to do at some point.
Martial, Rooney. He hasn't quite got the speed off the mark to try that kind of manoeuvre, but his passing so far has been first-rate. Well, the referee has said go on, but the Palace fans think that the game had gone on. It hadn't. I must say, Stuart, I was watching the ball and wondering.
Well, it's a strange decision by Mark Clattenburg. Now, Chris Smalling, I thought, was really quick, but he gets beaten for pace here by Wickham. Well, they both go down. Wickham gets back up, but the referee, Clattenburg's already given the free kick and booked Chris Smalling. It's a big moment in the game. That's what he's booked him for, that grabbing of Connor Wickham. Well, I've got to say, he's quicker than I thought he was.
And you could say Mark Clattenburg a bit quick with the whistle, but to be fair, that was more the sort of angle he would have seen it from, and he wanted to do the right thing. Whether what happened after that, players involved defensively for Manchester United had heard that whistle probably.
Big threat, in-swinging free kick, big players in the box, good technician Cabaye. Manchester United had problems against West Ham, conceded from set plays from this sort of area.
Cabaye takes, and it would have been an own goal but for David De Gea.
Just goes over the first man. Does Balassi get the flick here? Can you look at it again? Yes, he does.
He did.
It's a good little flick at the near post. Manchester United marking on the wrong side. They have to be in front of Balassi in that near post area.
Crystal Palace corner. Remember, set piece strength. It's one way they can take the FA Cup away from Manchester United here. It's a second ball in that Fellaini deals with. Balassi. Scott Dan's very good in the air. He's waiting on the far side here, but the ball's nowhere near good enough for him. Highest scoring Premier League defender of the season, Crystal Palace number 6.
Well, he'll get some criticism for that decision, but you can see why he gave it so early, because Connor Wickham had gone to ground. They'd both gone to ground, and then he gets up quickly. But by the time he got up, Mark Clattenburg had already given the free kick. As you said, what a great week it is for him. FA Cup final, Champions League final.
It's going to be a corner. It's a difficult ball for De Gea to deal with from Carrick. Good little spell this for Alan Pardew's team.
Exactly what they want. Set plays, free kicks, corners. See Fellaini standing on the edge of the 6-yard box for Manchester United. He's going to try and attack everything. Almost got to miss him out here, Cabaye.
test him out. He's pointed Manchester United's way, Mark Clattenburg.
Daley Blint's not even watching the ball. And he gets a whack across the face from Connor Wickham. But how can you be marking somebody if you're not actually watching the ball? How do you deal with it?
Well, you think the player who is watching the ball, the attacker, would be better placed to judge the trajectory and make contact with it. Anyway, it's a free kick for United. Fellaini flicks it on. Down in quickly in case Rashford, with his exceptional pace, got going. Cleared by Smalling. Blind.
There again, MacArthur's the player pressing the ball as almost the second centre forward at times. But what that does leave is Cabaye at times against Wayne Rooney, and Wayne Rooney's been running the game in this first 20 minutes.
In strongly. Blip. On from Carrick. Mata. Valencia outside it. Now back for Mata. And Mata again! Pushed out by Hennessy, and the danger averted by Ward. Back comes Martial. That could have fallen anywhere, really. Only a half block. Manchester United come again. With Rojo. Mata. See it not been marked at all then, and Carrick took two looks at him before he played it in to find Mata at an awkward height. And we've got more possession here. From a free kick, just about on the edge of shooting range.
Good save though from Hennessy. It's a lovely reverse ball. Gets a bit lucky here, Mata. It comes off a couple of Palace players, but he passes it perfectly into that far corner. Hennessy just gets a big enough touch. Good save from the Welsh goalkeeper.
Rooney takes. Had some landmarks this season, breaking the England scoring record, scoring on Tuesday against Bournemouth, which made it 100 Old Trafford goals in the Premier League. But just too high to give Manchester United the lead in the competition. He's desperate to win, Wayne Rooney, as is Alan Pardew, given his history in it as well.
He's just trying to tell his players to calm down when they get the ball. Yes, go and close it down, be aggressive when Manchester United have got it, but we've got to start playing, we've got to start calming down, making the right decisions.
There from Smalling. Suarez. Cabaye. Thrown by Dan, but he can't carry the move on. It wasn't the best ball for Zaha, as the Palace number 11 was indicating to the France international. And again well measured. Rooney, Carrick, Fellaini, the three in midfield for Louis van Gaal in the setup. Carrick again. Rooney. Just past the halfway mark in the first half. More of the ball for Manchester United, but Crystal Palace have had their moments of danger in the set pieces. Run from Wickham, blocked by Suarez. I think it's indicated to everybody who needs to know that he got it in the face.
Well, once again it's Valencia playing the 1-2 with Mata. They're combining well. Does hit him in the face as well. He's trying to pick out Fellaini. He was making his way into the box. That's a good combination out on that right hand side so far. One Mata coming infield, trying to link up with Valencia's player playing higher on that right hand side.
A terrific corner. Oh, what a chance for Fellaini. It's another corner.
Is it a wonderful save at the end of it? Well, I think Hennessy gets a hand on it here. Once again, he gets away from Or does it come off the defender? Once he gets there, not sure where it comes off in the end. That's a big, big chance. He gets on the wrong side again of Jedinak.
Well, he knows it was a really big chance. It did hit Jedinak and fly away for Daley Blind to spot up another one here. Rooney going round the back. Keep it alive for Manchester United. He could have just popped that back into the middle, but chose to try and take it down.
That's what he likes to do on many occasions. That time he tries to take his touch back inside, usually takes it onto his right foot and gets the shot away.
Rooney. It's done well to reach that. He was spinning round. Portsmouth had a taste of the Premier League when they were still in it. Of course, a long way from it now, that particular club. John Ward's rebuilt his career with Palace. Martial fouls Zaha ahead of Ward.
Zaha did well there, just pinched the ball off Martial. As always, when a front player gives it away and he starts chasing back, you know the foul's coming. Zaha did well just to cut back across Martial.
Very high line being held by Manchester United. Plenty of room for the right to drop it into. The high line actually worked because he under-hit it. Balassi has a go, and it needed saving from David De Gea.
Well, as soon as Balassi saw that it was Juan Mata in front of him, he knew he could take his touch to the side and get his shot away. Fairly awkward one for David De Gea.
Mistake by Carrick, seized on by Cabaye. Here's Wickham. He's just pulled it wide to the relief of Michael Carrick.
Well, he's had a decent start to the game, Connor Wickham. There's the poor pass, trying to find Wayne Rooney. Just beats Smalling, takes it to the side, and manipulates the ball really well, and then doesn't get the ball with his laces.
I wonder whether he might have been advised to try and take Chris Smalling on. Smalling now has a booking.
Not many times this season has Chris Smalling been beaten for pace, but I think he was when Connor Wickham ran at him in that. Already got his booking. Chris Smalling, whether he's not quite at his best today, or whether Wickham's quicker than I thought.
Trying to be the target. Fellaini. He just got away from Jedinak, who's racing back to provide some defensive screen as Martial takes on Crystal Palace. Rooney, Carrick, all but Wickham now back behind the ball. Alan Pardew's team. Carrick, it's a lovely ball into Rashford, who laid it back to Rooney. Rashford again, trying to be understandably tricky around the edge of the penalty area, little gives and goes, and they're capable of doing that. Rashford in his short career has shown he can do it.
And that's the time and place to do those little tricks in and around the box. If Mata had been on the same wavelength, Rashford was in on the little 1-2.
Blind. Rooney. Telling Rojo to get forward, but I'm afraid that was a miscalculated pass by Wayne, who's had some injury problems this season. Been working hard to get ready for the Euros. He's had issues in previous tournaments with England. Obviously wants, as the England captain now, to lead the challenge in France in a few weeks' time.
Mind you, the question everybody's asking is where's he going to play in the side? Because he's certainly playing as a midfield player who wants to get on the ball. I think it suits him perfectly. He hasn't got the pace to play as an out-and-out front player these days.
Header by Ward. Rojo is just leaning in a bit. Can be a bit erratic in defence, particularly aerially. Marcus Rojo players that he's been deputed to mark have scored against Manchester United from set pieces this season. Zaha gets the cross in. Just asked a bit too much of Wickham then.
Brilliant from Smalling. As Connor Wickham, when that ball started to come into the box, he was favourite to win it. And Smalling made up the ground and got the block in. And as you said, he's got to be very careful as well with Smalling.
Palace have only beaten Manchester United once in the last 25 years. That was in a cup tie, and at Old Trafford, the League Cup tie in 2011. Wilfried Zaha played in that, as did Chris Smalling. There is Zaha. Well, he tries so hard, Juan Mata. He must be a difficult guy to leave out of the team, because he is a very genuine fella. At times, he's pressed for pace. Game looks a bit more difficult for him.
We were talking before the game. If the game was played in half a pitch, he'd be the best player on the field every week.
Here's a player who was the best player on many a field for many a week, Ryan Giggs, and of course the assistant to Louis van Gaal and former caretaker manager of Manchester United just for 4 games in the period of David Moyes' management was curtailed. A candidate, I guess, to be the next Manchester United manager, whenever that is.
I think in one of his early press conferences, Louis van Gaal said, next to me is the next Manchester United manager.
He was expecting to do 3 years of service then. He's done 2. And he has said that the next season will be his last if he fulfills his original contract with Manchester United. He could be away here with Rashford. Martial! Well, if you look at the goals that Martial has scored for Manchester United, so many of them have been from this kind of position, coming in from the left-hand side.
But what play it was from Rashford, not good defending from Delaney. It was obvious what Rashford was going to do, try and flick it past him, and he picks out a cross here. After he picks it, he just hits it with pace. Unlucky.
Free kick given.
You're talking about the cleverness of players. Rashford there showing cleverness. I think they may be unfair of him to start with. I think he does pick out Martial here, and it just hits Ward on the knee.
Well, his sort of area for coming in and sniffing out chances. They talk about him playing as a central striker, Martial, later on in his career, but get more opportunities coming in and plays on the opposite side if you're good at recognising them. He's got 17 goals this season, his first with Manchester United, and of course got the Wembley winner in the semi-final.
It's always interesting to see different styles of management from the side of the field. Alan Pardew won't ever sit down right on the edge. Louis van Gaal hardly ever gets up. But he's had a good season. Martial, he's had an even better one in some ways. Marcus Rashford.
Well, he has come from nowhere really, sort of bypassing the under-21s.
He came on and played in 1 or 2 under-21 games, and people said he didn't play very well at all. Nobody could quite see why he made his debut against Arsenal.
Well, he made, of course, a European debut.
Sorry,
3 nights before, didn't he? And burst onto the scene and kept his place against Arsenal. The fairy tale continued and has continued, and now he's in the England squad. England play tomorrow, incidentally, at Manchester City's ground against Turkey. Wayne Rooney would love to play in it. Aaron Blink's in trouble here, and Zaha against Manchester United loses his footing. Clattenburg right there, couldn't have been closer without really touching the ball. What did you make of it, Stuart?
well, what a bad error it was by Daley Blind. You could see he was going to have the ball pinched off him, then he had a little grab back, And I think Wayne Rooney, when we see it again, does brilliantly.
There's Martial to find Mata. Rashford, Fellaini and Martial in the middle. Carrick. It's a lovely cutback from Mata. We have a second go at it. But they're finding some joy when Marcus Rashford goes out on the right-hand side.
Here's when Blint loses the ball, and then he has a little tug at Zaha, but watch the pace of Wayne Rooney getting back, and I think he gets a block on it, and then handball by Zaha. Does he get anything on the ball here? He doesn't get anything on the ball, but he doesn't also get anything on Zaha. I think he just lost his balance. Yes, Alan Pardew wants the penalty. I think Mark Clattenburg's absolutely right.
I think Alan Pardew wanted the penalty, but didn't expect the penalty. Far more animated than that. Anyway, it's a corner for United. And Palace look to counter-attack here. Well, we've been rehearsing that in the week, I'm sure. Manchester United had enough players back, and Rooney goes from sort of inside left to wide right again. Hennessy punches away. Caught in possession. Rojo. Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. 2016 FA Cup final from Wembley. Carrick decides to have a go.
He's had some big decisions to make already, Mark Clattenburg. And this is the one again. He makes the challenge, but he doesn't actually catch Zaha, and he doesn't get anything of the ball. Zaha was always tumbling over. But there's the mistake by Daley. Brilliant from Zaha to win it back. There's the infusion. That's why I think Wayne Rooney is a good midfield player. We've seen him hit cross-field passes, we've seen him involved in the game. He's also done the defensive side of the game.
We always say referees have to be 100% certain. There's been a significant incident at each end of the pitch, which on another day could have been given as penalties, but not in the mind of Mark Clattenburg.
And that time he did have his position absolutely right, didn't he, Mark Clattenburg? Racing in behind Wayne Rooney. Man left out, Jason Punchin. He must be really disappointed, because I think he's an exceptional player. He can make things happen for Crystal Palace with his left foot. He's got a great goal last week against Southampton.
Well, what has been said to him, I know, before the game when the decision was announced, was, well, the hero from Palace's point of view, the last time in that FA Cup final was a substitute. Ian Wright came on and scored twice in that 3-3 draw.
Not quite sure that's what you want to hear as the team's been announced,
no.
But he's still got something to play for. He's still got to keep his enthusiasm there. He's still got to be ready to come on.
It's a pill that can't be sweetened, I think. Fell off Balassi. Nice to Wickham. Dan. I think Crystal Palace be pretty pleased to get to this stage without too many alarms. They found their Wembley feet again, and Ward, again Mark Clattenburg has pulled it back.
No, I think this is a poor decision, because Ward was breaking forward, and he's going to call Wayne Rooney to him. Gave the foul far too early here, Mark Clattenburg. Ward was away up against Rojo. There's the foul. Rojo looked to tug the shirt, and Ward was then getting beyond him. He's not happy.
Twice, he says. The first one, the Wickham incident, and the second has led to Rojo becoming the second Manchester United player to be booked after Chris Smalling. Again, that high line. Deeper from Crystal Palace this time. Delaney a little riskily heading it across the penalty area, as well as eventually out of it. Well, I wonder what the Palace fans behind that goal that Hennessy is defending in this first half thought about the Damien Delaney challenge, which, of course, Mark Clattenburg saw their way at the beginning of the game, which could have been a penalty to Manchester United. Now there have been these two early calls, if you like, from referee Clattenburg that maybe stopped Palace breaking down United. They've got a fair array of substitutes. Jesse Lingard probably another one, a bit like Jason Punchin. Unfortunate not to be included from the start. He's had a good season. Mata, with his greater experience, has been preferred. Here's Martial. Rojo. Rooney. Also trying to play it into Fellaini.
Wasn't a good ball in the end from Valencia. Suarez knew that it was going to be played into that area. Played on the wrong side. It needed to be played on to Fellaini's right foot instead of his left. It just allowed Suarez to come and make the challenge.
Still, we haven't really touched on it before, and we might pull it up in the second half because Manchester United had a game this week, unusual in the build-up to the Cup final because of that security issue last Sunday. Rearranged against Bournemouth on Tuesday. Palace have had a free week, although they lost their last league game 4-1. Which preparation would you rather have been on?
I think you'd rather be Crystal Palace. What was surprising, or I was quite surprised that Manchester United put out almost their strongest team.
Well, it was their strongest available team, I think, as Rojo wasn't fit, and he's been brought back in today fit. And Fellaini was suspended. And he's been brought back, and the ban's been served. Here's Zaha, though. The way he plays sometimes, it's hard to detect what's a foul. He looks a bit awkward himself anyway. Nothing given in Palace's favour then, and Rooney switches the point of attack into the other half of the pitch. Rashford. Now Zaha. Jedinak's gone into a midfield area. He couldn't have been found there. Really ran behind opponents. Offer Wilfried Zaha any sort of straightforward pass.
Sometimes you can see why Zaha didn't quite make it at Manchester United, or certainly didn't make it at Manchester United. He can do some really good things, but some strange decisions.
Mata, Fellaini. Rooney. Only Wickham not behind the ball for Crystal Palace. Martial to find a way through, but weight of numbers stopped him.
Well, in the game against Bournemouth, that was where he was looking to play the little 1-2. Coming inside, he wants to play the 1-2 with Fellaini, and Fellaini didn't make an angle for him. In the end, Crystal Palace get enough players around the ball.
Well, it's pretty noisy at the end of this first half. It's going to be even noisier in the second half, when the teams are attacking the ends behind which their respective supporters or sets of supporters are. And we're a minute plus stoppage time away from the turnaround. Rooney gives it away. Kabay. Pressed by Rooney. Jedinak.
May not have had any goals, but it's certainly been an entertaining game. There's been some big talking points. Manchester United have had most of the play, most of the possession. They created one or two decent chances. Fellaini had a couple in the air. But now on the counter, Crystal Palace are looking more and more threatening, and more of the Manchester United players are committing silly challenges and getting themselves booked.
It's another booking, indeed, for Juan Mata. Almost right in front of Alan Pardew, who was quick to remonstrate. Suarez just rolled it down the line.
He's late, and he does catch Suarez. He puts his head back and jumps up in the air.
one added minute. What a time this would be for Crystal Palace to take the lead. If they can unhinge the Manchester United defence. The ball that Jelinek attacks. Cleared by Rojo. Acted by Ward. Delaney. Wickham has won it. And it ran beyond Cabaye. In the end, that was the last action of a very intriguing first half in which Mark Clattenburg has had to use all his refereeing experience. An incident with Rooney that was certainly a penalty shout. Connor Wickham thought he'd been allowed to play on when Chris Smalling fouled him and was booked. And the referee called it back. But there was an earlier incident involving Damien Delaney, which could have led to a penalty against Crystal Palace. If they're feeling a bit aggrieved about a couple of incidents, there's maybe one big one that's gone in their favour as well. At half-time, it's all set up nicely for the second half, and maybe beyond that as well. It's 0-0. United to start the second half. They're playing their first FA Cup final since 2007, which was the first one here at the new Wembley. That went to extra time and only one goal decided it against them. From Chelsea, from Didier Drogba. It is their 19th FA Cup final appearance, equalling the all-time record of the club that set that record 12 months ago, Arsenal.
I always feel this is a dangerous period in the game. Fans still making their way back to their seats. The players quite attuned. Maybe after that 15 minutes, quite involved mentally. So it's important that both sides start this second half well.
Carrick. Touched by Rashford to Rooney. And flag has gone up.
Rojo out on that left-hand side, just made his run a fraction too early. I've seen him get forward on a couple of occasions, but it's been more Valencia on this right-hand side that's got forward more.
Crystal Palace trying to become the 44th different club to win the FA Cup. It would take them into Europe for the first time as well. Going into the Europa League. If Manchester United win, the team that benefits in that qualification is West Ham. Rashford has been pulled by Dan. I'd be surprised if that's not a card.
Brilliant centre-forward play from Marcus Rashford. Shielded the ball away from Dan. He realised Dan was too tight, got turned, holds off the challenge here. Looking to get away with him, good strength and pace. Dan has 2 or 3 goes at him and quite rightly gets a yellow card.
Martial. 3 players around him, and Martial not really complaining too much that he didn't get the free kick. Again, Mark Clattenburg was right there. Tidying up from Rooney. Most unusual to see him play balls back to his goalkeeper from a midfield position. One of the great goal scorers of his generation.
He looks very pensive and thoughtful, doesn't he, Louis van Gaal? I think he'd be quite pleased with some aspects of his team's play in that first half.
He has won domestic cup honours in all the countries that he's worked in. Netherlands, Spain and Germany. Zaha.
Right at the end of the first half, Connor Wickham pulled on to Daley Blind and won the ball in the air. It was a dangerous moment. He did it again there and flicked it on for Zaha. Sure, we'll see more of that in this second half. Suarez getting on the ball, the big diagonal, and that's exactly what Pardew may be saying there. It looks as though Conor Wickham is going to take a long throw here.
He was telling Wickham to come out and take the throw, wasn't he? Because that is one of Wickham's attributes. It's allowed Scott Dan to go forward where he can be so dangerous. Trying to guide it down. And Wickham can hurl it back in again if he chooses to do so. He'd be surprised if he didn't.
And it's not a Rory Delap one that goes low and hard. It's looped up in the air, but it goes a long way.
Comes out to Balassi, who slips at the vital moment. Good call from Delaney, saying leave it to me to Ward. Partially away by Daley Blin. Has gone up, and Mark Clattenburg also concerned about the incident. It's James MacArthur who was trying to break in behind as the whistle went.
Yeah, just offside when it was headed by Balassi. Smalling got back anyway, doing what all good centre-halves would do. He came up and then went back in. Don't usually see Carrick get involved with the opposition's midfield player.
What a story it would be for MacArthur if he won the FA Cup with Crystal Palace, having won it 3 years ago with Wigan. A unique double. It's still 0-0 here. Rooney still searching for his first FA Cup winners' medal. Fellaini, who was in a final as a loser with Everton a few years back. Martial. Unfortunately came back to him. Rooney able to take a touch. Valencia. Fellaini. Around the outside of Suarez. And it was a double ricochet, so it's a goal kick.
Well, Manan Fellaini can do that. Shields the ball on the edge of the box, gets himself turned. Must just come off his chest in the end.
Suarez also had previous international experience in this stadium. He played in the Olympics for Senegal. Yeah. They're normally pretty close to each other, Mark Bright and Steve Parish, but caught up in the tensions of it. Bright, of course, played in those two finals, original and a replay for Palace in 1990 against Manchester United. Also had a final and a replay in his days at Sheffield Wednesday.
They got to the final a couple of times, didn't they? The FA Cup and the League Cup. Sheffield Wednesday with Mark Bright as their centre forward, both against Arsenal.
Blind. Still very much in the melting pot here. A rabid Liverpool fan as a boy, which gives him even more incentive to try and beat Manchester United. Smalling, one of 3 United players yellow carded in the first half, along with Mata and Rojo. Dan's been booked in the second half. Smalling. Might take a little bit of a show of initiative from another part of the pitch just to open the game. Chris Smalling half thinking about joining the attack. Now Mata. Rooney. Valencia. Little flick from Rashford for Fellaini. And it thuds back into play. Closest we've had to a goal. Marouane Fellaini nearly supplied it after a delightful touch from Marcus Rashford.
Well, you talked about it in the first half, those little flicks round the corner in dangerous areas. He does it so often, he does it so well. And Fellaini just sliced across the ball. Hennessy was beaten, didn't even make a dive for it.
Here's Balassi. Palace How close they were to going a goal behind here. Balassi doesn't get very far. Valencia tries his luck. Mata. Rooney. Martial. Broad concern, but he's got help from Johan Cabaye. Can be a bit reckless with his tackling and very nearly a typical challenge then. Fellaini leaves it on the call, presumably from Valencia. Mata trying to sneak in by the near post. Balassi back, having made a long run upfield.
What a big chance. What a big chance it was here. Valencia involved again, plays a good ball in. There's the little flick from Rashford. He actually doesn't slice across, he almost bends it with the inside of his foot. It's the place to beat the goalkeeper at the near post, high and with pace.
Well, the man who opened the scoring in the semi-final for Manchester United nearly opened the scoring in the final itself.
Rashford, he's so clever with his little touches around the corner. Just increases the tempo of Manchester United plays. Watch again, when the ball's played in, Fellaini thinks the ball's for him to start with. Rashford, the little flick, gets away from Jedinak.
If you're good enough, you're old enough. Marcus Rashford proving that point, and a thumping drive by Fellaini out off the frame of the goal. Almost seemed to gather pace as it flew back into play. Rooney, an issue there, which Chris Smalling is probably going to get away with.
He gets mixed up with Wayne Rooney.
Had a swing and a miss with the arm, didn't he? Yeah,
I'm not sure he did touch it.
Yeah. Anyway, he's back defending and he's still on the pitch, remember. He is on that tightrope, have already been booked. Palace fans bellowing their support from behind the goal that David De Gea is defending. Cabaye is trying to initiate a breakthrough for Palace here. It's one of those you need a really deft touch to get it on target, and Jedinak, for all his qualities, probably doesn't quite possess that.
And it came to him very quickly, he wasn't expecting it. He runs round the back, gets a little flick on here. It's on him very quickly, leaning back.
Well, the feeling in the Palace camp, and there are plenty of survivors from that final in 1990 here with them today, including the manager, Steve Coppell, and Suarez got lucky there. And John Solarco, who played as a youngster, who's on the coaching staff at Palace now. There's Alan Pardew himself, Mark Bright we've seen, and they all felt they should have won it. And you've just got the feeling here there's another chance for Crystal Palace to get their name engraved on the trophy for the very first time. And it's finely balanced, of course, at 0-0.
Shove in the back from Daley Blind.
And Balassi.
Daley Blind's gone across to the assistant because he's saying he was having his shirt pulled on that occasion. May have a point as well. He's having his shirt pulled, there it is. Daley Blind doesn't make any effort to go for the ball. Gets a bit lucky there, Balassi, and a great opportunity just to bend this ball in again.
They're on their feet. A lot of them allowed to stand in an all-seater stadium, Selhurst Park, because the board of directors encourage it, the Holmesdale end of the ground. And their support is as loud as anything you'll get anywhere. They're not going to be cheering there. And it's just put straight in De Gea's gloves by Cabaye, who can do better. Valencia. Rashford making the run willingly, but not quite the touch.
But it was good understanding from him. He knew that Valencia was having trouble, couldn't see a pass. Came short and then spun into the space down the side.
It's a big thing with every passing season, almost every passing month for Manchester United, not to have won a trophy since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And if they pass up this opportunity, that sound of complaint will coming louder and louder from Old Trafford. Rooney. Rojo has made space for the cross, has he? Yes, he has. And that's given Fellaini a chance, but Delaney got there first.
Well, Fellaini had to wrestle Suarez out the way so he could get to the ball. It's a good cross from Rojo. That's exactly where Fellaini wants it, but there's two players up against him. Delaney does well. Takes the safe option, heads it straight out for a corner.
Well, first Rashford, and then Mata went to offer a short corner option, but Daley Blind all season long has been the centre-back corner taker for Manchester United. And it's one that Fellaini reaches here. Rojo tries to head it on, and Palace cope.
Good header back from Fellaini. That's all he could do. He was running back towards the touchline, just gets it back into a good area. Maybe Rojo should have done better on that occasion.
Rooney was a bit frustrated. He wanted to keep the tempo up by throwing it quickly to somebody. There was no one offering themselves. But they are better, Manchester United, when they pass the ball with more purpose and more speed. Not easy here, as Palace have a plan. It's not a plan that's really surprised us in terms of the shape of the way they've gone about their business. Maybe the surprise of the midfield players giving specific roles, but it's working so far, and there's one of those midfield players, Cabaye, stretching to make the interception. It's back with Rooney again. A goalless first hour at Wembley. Martial trying to change that.
Tried to play the 1-2 again with Rashford, just got intercepted. They have not stopped, have they, those Crystal Palace fans? Not quite so energetic up the other end, the Manchester United fans.
Swinging by Carrick at it, then Valencia prods it forward. Suarez heads partially away. Mata. Valencia, they've got Fellaini back post now. Oh, it's a good save from Martial's header by Hennessy. Had to reach a long way. If it lacked anything, it was a bit of pace. Out come Palace. With Balassi. Carrick staying with him. Zaha trying to get into the middle. Game spread at the moment.
Well, if he did get anything on it, Hennessy, it's a great save. Also hit that far post. Did he just push it onto it?
Here comes Delaney. And Clattenburg quick to...
I think this is a poor challenge from Delaney. He's overrun the ball, he then goes with his...
And Mark Clattenburg thinks it's a poor challenge as well.
Here's the chance again. The cross comes in from Valencia. Martial with the touch there.
Now he straight onto the post, wasn't it, I think?
It certainly was. Scrambling across is Hennessy. It's a good header from Martial to play it into the area that he played it. He wasn't going to get there, the goalkeeper. That's the second time now they've hit the post. Is it going to be one of those days for Manchester United? And this is the foul. Does he go over the top of the ball here? Oh, he leaves his shin. It's a silly challenge. Once he went to ground, Rojo plays the ball. But I don't think there was too much intent. It wasn't quite as bad as I first thought, but he's in trouble here.
Well, he has just come back from injury, Marcus Rojo. His time with Manchester United has been a bit stop-start. Neil Swarbrick is the fourth official. Chat with Damien Delaney. Potentially could have damaged himself, Delaney, as well. It was Rojo on the receiving end. So one post from Fellaini, the other from Martial. Manchester United knocking on the door.
Well, they have got Darmian on the bench, but he went off with what looked like a serious injury against Norwich only 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just inquiring of the physio what they need to do.
Rojo's on his feet, and certainly want to get back. You only do that when there's a pause in play. But, the game's underway again. The famous Poznan, isn't it, that Palace have copied from Manchester City, who copied it from Poznan, like Poznan. Rojo has returned. See what sort of state he's in. He's flexing and grimacing on that far side. Here's Carrick. And now Mata. Almost 20 minutes gone in the second half. Rooney. Carrick. They are going to make the change. Rojo still forward, ahead of Daley Blind here. Rojo drives it in hard and low. Martial trying to fasten onto it on the burst and get his shot away.
It's actually a very good pass from Rojo out on that left-hand side. He didn't try and cross, he tried to pass it into Martial, but his touch just made the ball bounce up and allowed a defender to get to him.
Getting his instructions, who to mark, what your defensive role is in various situations. Manchester United wanted a free kick against Joel Ward. It's the end of the FA Cup final for Marcus Rojo.
No foul given there. Trying to let the ball run across his body.
Matteo Darmian, who left an imprint on Crystal Palace last month when he scored a spectacular goal in that 2-0 United win in the Premier League at Old Trafford. His only goal since coming into English football. Well, the first change, and it's not a tactical one. It's a force on United through injury. Now by Rooney on Cabaye.
Good start by Darmian. First 2 balls played into Zaha. He's one. That's one of them. But Rooney doesn't react quickly enough. Brings down the Frenchman.
Cabaye takes. Dan gets his head to it. Hooked just over by the right foot of Delaney.
Well, it's just a long ball played forward into the danger area. Dan does well, just flicking it on. Smalling wins the next header. And it's a fairly hopeful effort in the end from Delaney. Not too much conviction in it. As Rojo left the field, he had 1 or 2 words for the Crystal Palace centre-back.
Well, there is the man who was in charge of Manchester United 26 years ago. And it's often said that by winning the FA Cup he spared himself from the sack. He always disputes that, saying he would have had the support of the board to go again. But he did win it. And been a glittering array of trophies under the Ferguson years, or in the Ferguson years since then.
Now here's the change. Change of tactics. Had one change with Darmian, which was, as you said, an injury. Now maybe the change of tactics with Punching coming on, because he's a different sort of player and he can make things happen for Crystal Palace.
It was MacArthur trying to wedge it forward.
You imagine he would be the player to make way. MacArthur hasn't really affected the game in any way.
Well, we wondered, we were talking off at half-time, at what point Alan Pardew would say, we've got to now just tilt the emphasis. So staying in the game isn't the main priority. We've got to try and win it.
I think the disappointment will be if he brings off one of the wide players for punching to come on.
Rashford prepared to take Palace on.
And I think Cabaye just steps on him here.
He's still down. Carrick puts it out.
Started to run with the ball inside. As he fell to the ground, I think it's Cabaye that just stood on his knee. This is where they wanted the free kick, and Zaha just tugs his shoulder back there. Cabaye coming across, just here. Well, does he know what he's doing? Difficult to tell. Only Cabaye will know that. I think he did know what he was doing, having seen it a second time.
One would have suspected that.
Had plenty of chance to avoid Marcus Rashford on the floor. Slightly naughty from the Frenchman.
A second injury for Manchester United in the second half. Twice come within inches of taking the lead. Delaney with the first one. Set up by Rashford.
Brilliant flick. I'm not sure he hits it with real conviction. I think he's just hitting it goalwards, and here's the header from Martial that just hits the outside of the post. Hennessy was definitely beaten. He's struggling here, Marcus Rashford.
Well, that is, of course, as Jesse Lingard gets ready, a blow for the player himself, and also with England in mind. Ashley Young is the one who's going to get the call. Scored against Bournemouth. He came on as a substitute on Tuesday evening. Played as a central striker then. And one would guess that that's the job he's going to get here.
He came on against Tottenham and played as a central striker. Saw him play for the under-21s. His first game back after injury, and played brilliantly as the main striker, as he did for Watford when he first broke into their team.
Quick free kick by Rooney. Carrick. Martial. Good work by MacArthur, the Scot. Dan. Cabaye. MacArthur again. Punching. So about to enter the fray. Here's Cabaye. And the offside. And John Brooks, the assistant, rather spoils it with a chance to get at the 10 men of Manchester United.
It's not a decision that the Crystal Palace fans agreed with, but it's a tight one.
And it's Cabaye who's coming off.
I'm not sure he's too pleased with that. Johan Cabaye. It means that MacArthur will go deeper alongside Jedinak now. That's because Alan Pardew doesn't trust Cabaye defensively.
He's had a long and varied career, Jason Punchin, but he comes from Crystal Palace territory. He's finally found a home. Ashley Young, who we I think have to describe now as the former England international.
And he is going to play in the centre-forward role.
Rooney found him for that late goal against Bournemouth, and they interplay here. Martial. Rooney to have a crack. Could have ricocheted into the path of Young or Fellaini. Away by Suarez.
Punchin's been told to stop Carrick getting on the ball. Just watched him, Jason Punchin. He's just following Carrick around the field at the moment.
Not quite enough on that from Mata. Zaha accepting the defensive side of his responsibilities.
He's made his change, but I'm not sure it's really changed the tactics particularly.
He's got a couple of attackers on the bench that he could possibly use instead of Wickham. Dwight Gale, who finished the season pretty well, scored both goals in their last win against Stoke at Selhurst Park. And of course, Emmanuel Adebayor, who knows a bit about Manchester from his time from Manchester City.
He's not the biggest player, Suarez, but he certainly attacks the ball in the air. He did well against Fellaini on that occasion.
Mata. Martial making a run. And checks Rooney. That's keeping him at bay, at least for the moment. Being able to deliver the cross. Fellaini trying to get it down. Can Martial find a shot in here? Well, he went wider and Ward was able to block his path to goal.
Well, that's what you have to do when you've got Fellaini playing in the box. Get players in and around him.
Get your crosses in. Trying to help it on there. Swept away by MacArthur.
Wickham's got to start winning some of those challenges because Crystal Palace aren't going to get too much of the ball unless he starts to back in and win possession and bring others into play.
Looking a bit isolated, isn't he? And it's still 0-0. They're still in with a serious shout of winning the FA Cup for the first time, winning a major trophy for the first time. Martial, Rooney. Ward made the challenge, but it's now Carrick, as you say, with punching for company. Young. Fellaini defended well.
Tried to buy a free kick as well, try to con the assistant referee as he played that forward, a scream and a roll.
Yeah, the Irish eyes were smiling with humour, weren't they? Worth a shout, I think, probably Damien Delaney would have said, but not worth a free kick. Manchester United trying to find a hole in this defence again. Mata from Young's layoff, it doesn't quite happen for them. Vigorous defending from Palace. Here is Wickham. He's got a free kick, just nudged over by Valencia.
Yeah, that was better because he was up against Blint. And he knew he had the physical strength to hold off Blint to start with. And Valencia coming back, went on the wrong angle. Just allows them a little bit of time to get more players in a forward area. Free kick's going to go long.
Still only 23, Connor Wickham. He seemed destined for really great things. He scored a winning goal for England under 17s in a European final. And a big move up to Sunderland from Ipswich. Still feel he's got it in him.
Got the player of the tournament in that under 17 championship as well.
Jelinek nearly fell the Palace's way. So Scott Dan, who's going to stay in there. Hunchin's ball, Dan's going to attack it, but it doesn't reach him. Smalling saw to that. But Crystal Palace, in front of their own supporters, have a corner. 13 minutes away from extra time here.
And he has to head it, Smalling, as Dan was coming round the back. Hunchin's going to come with his left foot. He's a great deliverer of these balls into the box.
Headed away by Fellaini, back by Ward. A suggestion of offside here, but punch in! No offside! Goal for Crystal Palace! Shocked at being left out of the starting lineup. He's a super sub at Wembley today.
Well, they started to squeeze up Manchester United. That's always the danger. Fellaini wins the first ball. They start to squeeze up. And punching comes round the back, and Alan Pardew's going to make another change by the looks of it. But what a finish. Nothing that De Gea can do about it. He was beaten for pace. Well, you said it earlier on.
Ian Wright.
Watch, here it comes. There's the header. Good header by Fellaini. They start to squeeze up. Punchin's onside. The player on the far side is keeping them on. And what a good finish. It was Martial who was wandering out. Mata can't get back, and De Gea beaten just by the pace of it. Not a great first touch because it bounces up, but he keeps his composure. He's beaten for pace at the near post. What a moment for Alan Pardew.
Well, he's doing his moves because he made his move to bring on Punchin. I'm sure it was always in his mind, if we're still in a tight situation, 3/4 of the way through the game, just tilt it from being that holding operation to maybe a winning strategy. We'll see. Manchester United have to come from behind at Wembley.
In a period where they were the more dominant side, you couldn't see where Crystal Palace were going to score from.
Here's Martial. Fellaini jumping for it. Is it going to fall? Well, it's Jedinak's way, but it's not much of a clearance. And they want Hennessy to take charge. Palace do then, and he does.
What a moment for Jason Punchin. Disappointed to be left out of the side. And what a moment for the chairman and Mark Bright. Not quite so good for Louis van Gaal, but he's got to get his team to get crosses into the box. Get it wide. Got to play high-tempo football now to get themselves back into this game.
What a moment for the headline writers. A knockout punch for Manchester United, for Louis van Gaal. Should it stay this way? Still a should. 10 minutes to go. And Manchester United desperate at the very least to take this to extra time. Rooney. It's a great weaving run from the Manchester United captain. To stay on their feet. He's got the cross in. Fellaini can get it down. And it's level, and it's Juan Mata. Great response from United. Yet again for Alan Pardew, a lead in a cup final. But Rooney's run paved the way.
Brilliant from Wayne Rooney. Just when you want your big players to step up, he goes on a run, he's looking to get a shot in, and when it gets played into the box, take nothing away from Marouane Fellaini. We talk about his headed ability, but he loves to get balls on his chest. Wayne Rooney does really well here. Just to dig the cross out. Fellaini puts the defender underneath it. He's going to shoot himself, but it comes with the left foot of Juan Mata, and it takes that deflection off Ward. But it's got to be Mata's goal, it's going in. Doesn't actually connect with it particularly well, and it comes off his shin in the end.
The FA Cup winner with Chelsea 4 years ago has kept his chances of a winner's medal alive. After the left foot of Punchin came the left foot of Mata, and we're level again at Wembley.
Just shows you if you get crosses into the box.
I think the Palace players thought they'd stop the cross, didn't they?
Yeah.
He found a way, Rooney, a remarkable cutback. Just shepherd him to one side, keep him going away from the goal, but he still found a way to punish them by the cross that led to the equaliser. Here's Young. And Suarez. Young down to Mata. Back for Young again. And Suarez puts it away. And that knockout punch has gone away for the moment. They're still on their feet, Manchester United. Hennessy's off his feet to make the catch.
Just too much height on that one.
Dwight Gale, who is arguably the best finisher that Crystal Palace have. He is their leading scorer, but only with 7 goals in all competitions this season. They have not really backed up the potential in other parts of the team by getting a sufficient amount of goals. All sorts of chopping and changing as the main man in their attack. On the attack here with a free kick.
Quite some while they went without a centre forward, and Balassi played as the main striker. But this is what Manchester United can't afford to do: give cheap free kicks away. Dan will go up, Delaney will be a threat.
Cleared by Carrick. It's a good old-fashioned challenge by Suarez on Young, who had no complaints.
Well, brilliant from both players. So often you see when there's a challenge like that, one of them staying down. Ashley Young got straight back up, wanted to get on with it. To Suarez.
And wasn't the best ball from MacArthur. Would have been better. Did not take a chance on it. This could be very costly. Martial. Young trying to get across his man. Valencia. Not pressing him. Hard and low. Young nearly forced it in. Become quite a cup final now, Stuart.
It certainly has. And when that ball came in the first time, I'm not sure whether Ashley Young kicks it in the wrong direction. I think he was first to it. Well, it's been a really good cup final. It's been a brilliant last 20 minutes. Valencia doing really well, as he has done throughout the game. He goes for power on this occasion. Young has a couple of swings at it. This is the second opportunity for Young. It was an earlier one.
Connor Wickham goes off. Fresh legs belong to Dwight Gale.
He's got a bit of pace, he's got a bit of devilment about him, Dwight Gale.
Valencia. First time by Darren Fellaini to attack it, as he loves to do. MacArthur's header. Then Rooney runs his way. There's the cup coming his way. Whether that'll be revisited by Mark Clattenburg, it certainly will. It's a yellow card.
There's the devilment in Wayne Rooney. He's been excellent all game. He's led the scene well. He overruns the ball and then flies into the challenge. And it's a naughty one as well. Goes with his stud showing, goes down the side of the ball. Could easily have injured Zaha on that occasion. But what a run it was for the equaliser. Just when you want your captain to come to the fore, as he has been for most of the game.
Suarez. We haven't talked too much in the match about Balassi and Zaha, but it's Balassi's ball here. Suarez cross. Oh! Zaha picked himself up quickly to hunt down the possession and to win a corner.
Well, that's the first time we've seen Mata exposed defensively. Suarez got down the outside of him. It's a good cross into the box. I thought that Zaha just gave a little nudge just there. But he doesn't. Darmian just misses it completely.
88,619 the attendance. And no one's leaving. Dan has a run at it. Another corner.
What a challenge by both players. Dan trying desperately to get there first. Smalling reading the danger. Really good defensive play from Chris Smalling.
Well, convert this now and you can win the cup. And it's a goal kick. Scott Dan still striving, but he was caught in an earlier corner. And Ashley Young chases, and Hennessy mops up. It's only the third time they've been paired together in the FA Cup. The fifth game, the other two, the final in 1990 and the semi-final in 1995 went to replays. This could be heading for extra time. Comes back Mata's way.
Mata missed the opportunity. When he gets to the almost to the ball, he's got to cross that ball. It's no ball coming back again. That was the opening.
Carrick. Blin. As we said late in the first half, of course, Manchester United played on Tuesday. The end of a tough season. Will extra time be a bridge too far for them? They might not need it, of course, if Fellaini can knock this down. Jesse Lingard is coming on.
Here is the goal from Jason Punchin. His first touch allowed the ball to bounce up. I'm not sure De Gea was expecting that to be hit on the near post. And here's the one the other end. Ward will relive this moment time and time again. It's on his left foot, hits him on the heel, and suddenly United are back in the game. Driven on by Wayne Rooney.
Well, the scorer of the equaliser, Juan Mata, is replaced by Jesse Lingard.
He's been replaced by number 35, Jesse Lingard.
I think we were both surprised he didn't start the game, Jesse Lingard.
He started the semi-final and Mata didn't. But, yes, the goal justified the inclusion, and now Lingard's in a position where he could be a substitute hero. Punchin. To go and get it back again. That was a challenge deemed to come from behind. He's a bit more upset about the decision than Alan Pardew is.
Well, he won the ball to start with, Punchin.
Smalling. Can it be decided in added time rather than extra time? Zaha. Still going. Really had to be careful, of course. He's been booked. There's no one quite kept up. And it was crossed by Ward. There's some tired players out there.
Balassi being one of them. Crystal Palace fans were urging him to race onto that ball. Said he just sat back in front of Lingard.
Rooney. Valencia. Determined play by Balassi. Well, he's gone for the Hollywood pass for Dwight Gale.
Just on the wrong side of Chris Smalling. Need to be the other side and inside of Daley Blind.
Rooney. Must be deja vu for Alan Pardew, mustn't it? He'd been in winning positions in 2 previous cup finals, one as a player, one as a manager. He's going to have to make a defensive change here. Scott Dan was limping. Adrian Mariappa, who's playing to Scott Dan, go down, so that can make the change. Oh, that's a blow. not just his defensive abilities, but the fact that he is the guy who gets on the end of many of their set pieces. He missed the League Cup final completely through injury, and he was a Birmingham player 5 years ago. Got a winner's medal. But, was on crutches at the time. Didn't obviously participate.
Always difficult for a defender coming on. Just going into extra time. You've got to get used to the pace of the game. It was a worrying moment.
Here's Zaha. Oh. Well, you could hardly have written a story like that, could you, Wilf Zaha? After those 2 frustrating years as a Manchester United player.
Just gets the better of Chris Smalling. It's once or twice that's happened. Chris Smalling hasn't been at his brilliant best today. Valencia comes across and stops Zaha getting closer to goal. Always missing that near post.
Suarez. Nearly knackered Fellaini. Still tussling. Lingard. Young. Everyone girding up really now for 15 minutes each way. Extra time.
I think there's one team that will want to win the game in extra time. There'll be one team that may want it to go to penalties.
Well, level at 0-0 for long periods. And then inside the last 15 minutes, a rat-a-tat of goals. Puncheon, then Mata. I thought it was going to blow. Final whistle for regulation time, but now he has done. So it's extra time at Wembley. If Louis van Gaal is going to get Manchester United back on the silverware trail, it's stamina as well as skill that's going to be part of it. Alan Pardew feeling that Jason Puncheon had been his masterstroke from the bench, but the lead was quickly wiped out by Juan Mata. 1-1, and we go to extra time. Final tickets are going to get an extra half an hour of football for their investment, and maybe a penalty shootout as well. Wilfried Zaha in those last few moments had a sight of goal. Jason Puncheon will be pleased. He's going to get more FA Cup final football than he probably thought when he was sent on, but of course he would much rather it had ended those 13 minutes after he put the ball in the net with a 1-0 Palace win. Ifs, buts and maybes. Extra time underway at Wembley. Fellaini wins his first extra time header.
The way Louis van Gaal was taking his team talk at the end of normal time, a lot of it was aimed at Marouane Fellaini, whether they're going to leave him in a fairly forward area and try and hit big diagonals to him, try and get crosses into the box for him.
Yes, Valencia is still full of running. Carrick, Martial, all the way through. Good hold-up play by Gale. Comes on for Balassi, and Zaha continued his run and could be in here. Wilfried Zaha for Crystal Palace. Rooney's back, and he was the third one back. Valencia and Blind actually got either side of Zaha.
What a ball this is from Balassi. Good vision. Zaha's made the run. Valencia doesn't get round on the cover quickly enough. He eventually gets there. And it's Blint that gets the challenge in. Just twisted his ankle, and then Rooney again getting back and doing enough. Good refereeing again by Mark Clattenburg on that occasion.
MacArthur. Appa, who's international with Jamaica, but actually was born just up the road from here at Harrow. I know you're northwest London, very close to Wembley. Rooney. Carrick. Forward comes Smalling. He scored an own goal in the semi-final and another own goal on Tuesday night for Bournemouth. A late consolation and ruined David De Gea's evening. He was on for a share of the Golden Glove award. But, managed to accomplish the shutout, which would have given him that share. Damian, Rooney, Young, Martial. For Rooney again. Jesse Lingard scampering about to try and influence proceedings. Here he is again. Well, it started late here at Wembley today. It's going to finish late. Which way is it going to go? We're still no way any nearer knowing. And once you knew Fellaini had turned his back on that, it wasn't going to lead to Manchester United turning this around.
Well, there's Marcus Rashford, who created an opportunity earlier on in the game for Marouane Fellaini. Again, showed all his qualities. A nasty whack from Cabaye. I think stood on him on purpose. Not quite seeing that same jig from Alan Pardew as when they scored their goal now.
I must say it seemed a little premature at the time, particularly given what's happened to him in his two previous FA Cup finals. That's a foul on the Edinak by Fellaini.
Also in playoff games, I remember being at the Millennium Stadium when he was manager of Reading. His team were winning 2-1 and Walsall equalised in the very last minute and then went on to win in extra time.
Hold your horses. Taken by Delaney. Looking for Gale. That's a bit on it, but not quite enough. Wrap-around contest between Ward and Young. The game goes on. Zaha tries to go on. Carrick having a bit of a go at Mark Clattenburg about being manhandled. Possibly a bit of a go about front men not being available for a clearance. But Martial, who's swapped with Young at the moment, it seems.
We saw Ryan Giggs at half-time talking to Martial about changing his position from wide left to centre forward.
Blint. Here is Martial. Rooney. He's played plenty of games for England with Young, and Young was a winger. She is now. He didn't get a sniff of the semi-final, Ashley Young. Came after the match you mentioned earlier when he played the second half at Spurs. Emergency striker's role.
Didn't do quite enough on that occasion to go past Wall. Wall knew he wanted to go down the outside.
Palace fans have lost none of their stamina, but the players, certainly in one or two parts of the pitch, are suffering a bit. Up goes Gale. Faithful MacArthur. Suarez still full of pace and positive thinking here. Hoping to get a free kick out of that in the end.
This is always the case. Ryan Giggs coming to the side. Louis van Gaal still sitting down.
Lingard, smothering challenge by Mariappa, which involved the use of a hand.
He's a very competitive player, Mariappa.
This came originally from Watford, who were knocked out by Palace in the semi-final. Here's Young, trying to do better this time. Help from Darmian. Rooney, to get the angle more advantageous. You see what he was trying to do. Put a bit of whip on it, hand it back inside that far post.
Well, Fellaini's getting involved before over on the far side, but here comes that shot again. Just gets too wide to start with, doesn't get the whip he's looking for.
Is he going to get the FA Cup winners medal he's looking for? And Bobby Charlton's records under threat. It's 2-4-9 for Sir Robert and 2-4-5 now for Wayne after his goal on Tuesday against Bournemouth.
There's a little bit of pushing and shoving between Fellaini and punching in the penalty box.
Yeah, nice to see a handshake at the end of it. Jedinak back on Fellaini duty though. Countered by Smalling.
That's where you want to see Martial a bit more alive. It was obvious that Smalling was going to win that header and get power in the header. Martial didn't really react and looked to run in behind.
Dale jumping. Knocked forward by Carrick. Met by Jedinak. And Carrick again. In goes Young with Ward, who fouls him. Thinking about the quick free kick. Quickish from Carrick to Lingard. Martial. Lingard again. Fellaini. Lingard. In the corner on the far side for Manchester United.
I think Fellaini makes good contact with this. Lingard does really well to pick him out. He's the only player in the box. It's good contact, but Mariappa it is with the first block and Suarez with the second.
Blind to take it. And curved Fellaini for the most part. One lapse of concentration. Also Smalling to deal with as well. Doesn't reach Fellaini, fisted away by Hennessy. The crowd, the Crystal Palace crowd wanting Wayne Rooney to be sent off here for second yellow.
Well, the ball was up in the air a long time. I don't think Wayne Rooney's just got eyes for the ball here. He then just leaves his foot there. Dangerous thing to do. He's looking at the ball, punching. Knows the challenge is coming in. Right in front of Mark Clattenburg. Gives Wayne Rooney the benefit of the doubt on that occasion.
The punching did well for him too. You mentioned that kind of sporting response from players earlier, and the stakes are very high here. If a line is crossed, you can sometimes explain it, if not excuse it. But there have been some good elements to the way these teams have gone about their business. But I think Rooney's probably on a last warning. Manchester United have had a player sent off in an FA Cup final before, Kevin Moran. And they actually won despite that.
Yellow card for Fellaini.
Not so sporting.
Jedinak claiming he got one across the face here. Well, I think he makes the most of it. Yes, he does lead with his arm.
He doesn't swing it though, really, does he?
He's just trying to get a bit of height in his jump.
You do find tall players do get penalised a lot. Peter Crouch, another one.
Kevin Davis.
Yeah.
Every time there was an aerial challenge, referees give a foul one way or the other on most aerial challenges these days.
Blind. Oof, what a try from Yannick Bolasie. That could have easily caught a less vigilant goalkeeper out.
Well, Yannick Bolassi's now playing through the middle, and he has been for the last 5 minutes or so. This is a really good effort, great technique, and it's going in at the near post, I think. De Gea had to get down and make the save. Yes, he does with that bottom hand. That was just creeping in at the near post.
Manchester United's player of the season for the last 3 seasons, including this one. The 3 so far trophyless seasons, but that save might just help get the FA Cup in their hands by the end of this protracted FA Cup final. Confirmation of the Fellaini booking. Fellaini's back, heading safely away, but it's MacArthur. It's come through to Bolasie. Zaha rather cleared the way. Now Bolasie tries again. And again. Michael Carrick happy to go to ground to get the free kick.
More than happy to go to ground. He didn't really have an out ball. He was under pressure. Just lent into Bolassie's challenge. It's the arm that the referee sees to start with. I think Manchester United here have to force the issue. They don't want this game going into penalty shootout.
Smalling. Guided away by Mariappa. Here's Rooney. Okay.
Once again, he tried to pick up the ball and run with it, as he did for the equalising goal, but he just loses out on this occasion.
And then he did pick up the ball and thought about being dissentful with it, but thought better of it. At the age of 30, he has learned one or two.
Well, when Alan Pardew first took over, Jedinak was injured, then he couldn't get back into the side. Jedinak had been such a good player for Tony Pulis and managers before him. But in the last half of the season, he's been excellent. Jedinak back in the side, even though results haven't been good. He's been one of Alan Pardew's first picks, and he's done a good job today.
Great credit to the Socceroos. Have a look round Lingard to make sure he kept it in.
Definitely Ashley Young's come to the left-hand side now, and Martial's playing through the middle, but he made a really important save, David De Gea.
Rooney. Space here for Darmian, who is right-footed. So goes in, narrows the play a bit. Rooney. Valencia. Taking on Punchin. Oh, it's a bit scuffed. It nearly came for Lingard. Oh, now. Well, that's going to be the end, surely, for Chris Smalling's FA Cup final. That early yellow card comes back to haunt him, and he could argue he's taken one for the team here. But there was still a long way to go. He was in the opposition half. Did he have to do it, Stuart?
Well, first of all, he gets in a terrible body position. He doesn't have to win that ball in front of the striker. There's no way he can win it. And then he gets tangled up. He can't win the ball here. Yes, he's having his shirt tugged, but then he dives across, then grabs the foot of Bolasie. He had to go. It's a silly challenge. He can't win that ball. He's just got to be patient. Maybe there's one of the reasons why Chris Smalling's still learning the game.
So Manchester United down to 10. Rooney having to do even more.
It looks at the moment as though they're going to play Ashley Young at left back, I think. And Darmian's going to go into the centre-half position. We usually see Carrick go into centre-half. That's the discussion those two are having at the moment, Louis van Gaal and Ryan Giggs.
Well, I've got a bit more time to talk about it now. We're half-time and extra time. Chris Smalling following Kevin Moran of Manchester United in the 1985. Jose Antonio Reyes for Arsenal against Manchester United 20 years after that. And Pablo Zabaleta 3 years ago when Manchester City were beaten here by Wigan. I had Chris Smalling of Manchester United against Crystal Palace 2016 to that role of FA Cup final dishonour. Well, you said about one team playing for penalties, I guess you meant Crystal Palace.
I certainly did. It's going to all be changed now. Manchester United just got to get through this last 15 minutes. Certainly not going to dominate possession now. 11 versus 10. Big thinking to do. Who's he going to play at centre-half? Surely he's not going to go with Darmian as centre-half.
I wonder whether he could go with maybe three at the back with Carrick just sitting a little bit deeper. I don't know. It's his problem. Alan Pardew's problem is now the psychology has switched to Palace. It's their chance. They had a squandered opportunity. They led 1-0 through Jason Punchin's sensational arrival from the substitutes bench. That didn't last very long.
Just giving information to Jesse Lingard there. We'll have to wait and see. But now they can be on the front foot, Crystal Palace. They can play with more energy, they can play with more verve going forward, they can get the ball forward quick and get support to it.
Just to remind you all that all the substitutes have been used, so there can be no, like Phil Jones, for example, who could have been brought on as a substitute centre-half. He's now out of the equation because the three permitted.
It's going to be Darmian at centre-half alongside Daley Blind, and Ashley Young has gone back to left-back.
He has played left-back, of course, not that often in his Manchester United career, just to get a game at times.
Well, also he plays a left wing-back, didn't he, earlier in the season when Louis van Gaal was playing with three at the back.
So we're into 15 minutes more.
Martial will play up front by himself, so there's no real change in the midfield for Manchester United. Carrick as the holder, Rooney and Fellaini either side of him, but I don't think Fellaini will go quite so far forward as he has done throughout the game.
Gale, I'm sure, had been told to get at. There's a makeshift centre-back in Darmian, and same would apply to Balassi, who was, as you were saying, playing through the middle for a while. Maybe he and Gale will be a pairing now. Zaha still on the right-hand side.
They're actually playing without a left-sided player, Crystal Palace. Punchin's playing infield. See, they're all saying, get the ball forward. Suarez going to have to do the whole of the left side, almost plays a left wing-back.
But if they can switch the play out to him and use the extra man, it always seems more straightforward than it actually is. Here's Zaha, and here is Gale. De Gea keeps them in it again, Manchester United. Now Balassi. Still Balassi. And Mark Clattenburg rules corner. Dwight Gale, who's such a good finisher, is furious with himself.
But what a good run as well. Look at the timing of this run. He gets it absolutely right. It's a good ball played in behind. He changed it from one foot to the other. He gets his shot away quite quickly as well. Just tries to toe poke it past De Gea. Crystal Palace in the ascendancy here.
They will never have a better chance of winning the FA Cup, you feel. Well, they weren't knocked out by the punch, but they could have been blown away by the gale. But Manchester United still on their feet. Mariappa gets a glance to it. Cards coming out again.
MacArthur doesn't really need to make that challenge. There was nobody in front of Lingard. Just sticks his arm out to stop the Manchester United player counter-attacking, but there was no one to join in with him.
He's not the quickest, James MacArthur. He's very much a coach's player, isn't he? Give him a job, he sticks to it.
He's had a couple of jobs today. The first half, he was trying to stop Carrick playing, which he did quite well. Really get on the ball. He dropped back when they took Kabay off. He dropped back in alongside Jedinak. This is where Manchester United need Martial to show real enthusiasm, to make runs, to try and run in behind Crystal Palace.
Well, you talked about Palace pressing high in the semi-final. If they've got the energy, and it's a big if, I think, at this late stage, would give them maybe a better chance of forcing the error, but you can see there's plenty of weariness in some of their players as well.
Now's the time to take the gamble. I think Manchester United have set themselves here just to hang on. They're not going to get too many balls played forward. And centre-halves aren't going to go up for set plays.
Carrick. Lingard and Martial linking up here. Still Jesse Lingard. Oh, wow. What a way that would have been for Michael Carrick, if it is to be the end of his Manchester United career, to have sealed it. He'd made up so much ground.
I'll take back everything I said. There's the holding midfield player making a run into the box. And what a run it was too. Lingard did well, kept the ball, played a little 1-2 with Martial. I'm not sure he scored too many headed goals, has he, Michael Carrick, in his career?
Not too many goals, full stop, but there is a feeling around Old Trafford that if the manager changes, that Carrick might well be offered a new contract. Here's Valencia. The 10 men are striving for a breakthrough here. They've got it! Jesse Lingard with a thumping goal. History before your very eyes.
What a great strike it was from Lingard. Valencia, who's been a threat all afternoon, got down the right-hand side. He's obviously going to get a booking for taking his shirt off. I don't think he'll worry too much about that. But what a good finish, just hitting through the back of the ball. Here's the danger man, Valencia. Time and time again, he's tried to get down this right-hand side, up against Punchin. Punchin's a bit unlucky. And he goes, he just gets the cross in. They get the first block in, but what a good strike as it comes back to him. Jedinak can't quite get to him. MacArthur as well was there. That's the perfect strike. Has that won the FA Cup for Manchester United and Louis van Gaal?
For 10-man Manchester United. Well, the last Jesse shooting like that was Jesse James.
Well, it wasn't quite the same jig as Alan Partridge, but it was something similar.
Here's Gale, who will now be fretting even more about the chance that he couldn't take. Zaha. Oh, and it's just wide from Jedinak. Didn't quite have the power or the direction of Lingard.
Well, they haven't won the game just yet, Manchester United. There's still a fair time to go. Oh, that's an unlucky finish. Watch, he tries to bend it with the inside of his foot. It's always creeping away. I think David De Gea had it covered. Good response from the Eagles. What he's saying is stay and press.
Yeah, they have to. Well, it's been emphasised, the important role of substitutes in the modern day game. And Jesse Lingard did, of course, get the compulsory card for taking his shirt off. It's a questionable legislation, I think, made by players, by administrators who've never scored a goal in their lives. But it does seem a strange way to celebrate, but it's one that many players, I'm
not sure it's a celebration used too often, is it?
Oh, that's all standing in disbelief. It is a free kick to Manchester United.
Well, Carrick had the chance with his head, but Lingard, who's had an excellent season, another player that's come to the fore, and Manchester United have been struggling. Couldn't hit that any sweeter, could he? Had no time to think about it. Just set up nicely for him. And he hits right through the back of the ball with his laces. No chance for Hennessy.
Well, Alan Pardew knows there's still time, but he might be forgiven for thinking, not again. From a winning position in an FA Cup final, first as a player 26 years ago with Palace, and as a manager with West Ham.
And I would say Louis van Gaal's been quite brave, because it almost looks as though Lingard is playing up front with Martial. He will drop into midfield when Crystal Palace have the ball, but
it's a 4-3-2, isn't it?
Give credit to the manager, Louis van Gaal.
Here's Delaney. Give credit to Manchester United for finding the resolve. It's not been their best season in terms of performances, but they have rarely been lacking when it comes to effort. In some ways, you feel at times with the pressure on the manager, the players have policed it themselves, and they've just got on with it, and they've refused to lie down. They've kept on going. When you look at the Chelsea situation when they fell out with Jose Mourinho, and it looks as though those players perhaps down tools a little bit, maybe doing them a disservice. If so, apologies. And ball was it by Balassi as he looked to get it onto his right foot for the shot.
Just for a moment there, Darmian took a massive risk. When that ball was thrown into Balassi, he was going to try and win it in front. Could easily have brought down Balassi. Just got to be sensible with their defending. Yes, they've got to defend with urgency. They can't give cheap free kicks away. They can't try and win balls that aren't there to be won.
Balassi, forward by MacArthur. Push Damien Delaney up front now.
And he's one of probably their best header of the ball now on the pitch, Damien Delaney.
Well, there have been twists and turns here. Is there going to be another one? Not like that.
There will probably be one more chance, or certainly half a chance, in this last 4 minutes.
It was the most instinctive strike by Lingard. In goes Puncheon, trying to get the return ball. Suarez. Mariappa, Jedinak, nicely played, on to Ward. It's a difficult ball for Zaha, but he might get there. But yet again, where would they be without David De Gea? Even today, but game after game after game.
He's got a problem here. Did he take a whack to the head? Looks as though he has done.
Well, we might have to see where would they be without him for 3 minutes to remain, and of course no substitution.
What a pass it was from Ward inside of Ashley Young, down the side of Blint. Zaha got there first and has the chance just to lift it over the goalkeeper, get his toe underneath it. He has been exceptional for 3 years at Manchester United, David De Gea. He's a calm, composed goalkeeper. That's him screaming and shouting
And has been a story, and it's only, of course, as Crystal Palace and the boardroom down was thinking about it going wrong. He'd been obviously through the gamut of emotions as now the former Manchester United boss. But David De Gea doesn't want to stay at United if Louis van Gaal stays the manager. Well, that's a story that's come out from Spain. It's been reported in the English press. He is a fantastic goalkeeper.
What Manchester United need now is Fellaini to start winning balls in the air again. He looks absolutely shattered, the Belgian midfield player. He's got to help out the likes of Blin, Darmian, when balls come into the box.
But they are nearly there. Alan Pardew stands, hands on hips. Ryan Giggs, the serial trophy winner, and then Jedinak gets the ball in his face from one of his own players. Maybe the beard did cushion it a bit. He's a tough Aussie.
Amazing when you're losing the game, you don't go down when it hits you in the face, you just get on with it. Not sure that would have been the case if they were winning the game 2-1.
This is the 10th final here, Stuart, the new Wembley. It's a stadium that's building its own history now, and I think this will have a prominent chapter in it, won't it?
Absolutely. And that's what I'm talking about. Fellaini's now gone back and he's marking Damien Delaney.
Here's Ward. Zaha. And still Zaha, the former Manchester United man, goes on, and his teammates look away in frustration. He looks away in frustration. But he's doing the right thing. He's taking the responsibility. It's just not quite the execution at the end of it.
A good run from him. Some poor challenges by the Manchester United players, Carrick being one of them. On another day, he keeps that down and it flies in the top corner. I don't want it just yet. 2 added-on minutes for Manchester United to survive here.
The competition with such a glorious past has produced a glorious occasion here at the climax of the 15-16 season.
We said it right at the start. It's one of the best atmospheres I've seen here at Wembley since the new stadium's been here.
In from Jedinak, and De Gea swats it away. Zaha. United can let that run.
Was that the first mistake by David De Gea, by punching there when he could have caught that quite easily? Looking up at the clock, he knows there's not long left.
Hennessy up towards Delaney, marked by Fellaini, and the flag up in any case. That's careless really, but with fatigue and also the shock, you are 1-0 up at Wembley, and immediately that lead is wiped out. Then you're 1 man up at Wembley, and almost immediately you concede. Tough to take, but the other side of the coin, at the other end of the stadium, going to burst into rapture at the moment when that final whistle goes in a moment. But here's Zaha. This must be the last attack for Palace, and he scuffed the cross, and Lingard waxed it away and appropriately has the last touch. He's decided it. Manchester United are back on the trophy trail. Louis van Gaal fighting to keep his job, has delivered a record equalling 12th FA Cup. But how dramatic the storyline. They were a goal down and they equalised. They were a man down and they found an extraordinary winning goal. A goal that will be replayed over and over again when you look at great FA Cup moments from Jesse Lingard. Palace flattened, and Manchester United have ended this void of 3 years since Sir Alex Ferguson by getting silverware. It's the FA Cup after extra time. Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 2. An absence in the considerable medal collection of their captain has been rectified after 12 years, and for a 12th time reunited with the FA Cup are Manchester United. And a gallant victory. Odd to say it was against the odds against Crystal Palace, but it certainly turned out that way.
Well, it certainly did. When they went down to 10 men, you could only see there was going to be one winner. You couldn't see how Manchester United were going to score the winning goal, but they did. And what a good goal it was from Jesse Lingard.
And David De Gea certainly deserves his moment. He was superb. Well, he has got his hands on it. I thought they were going to go, whether they were just winding him up a little bit. But it's back with the players.